I got dough. Ever since you hopped in, set my phone, slam my door.
What's good, P&A squad? It's Paul and Nash back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about how you know your partner really loves you. So me and Ashley came up with some key points to how you know your partner, so whether he or she is truly in love with you or if it's fake. So
yeah, or if they're just not really like serious about you, like in terms of like being with you for the rest of their life.
Yeah, you know if it's the real deal or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we jotted down some points in our phone. We're gonna read out to you guys, and yeah, stay tuned. I'm about to get it on and popping right now.
Alright guys,
P&A squad.
P&A squad for life. Alright baby, you want to start?
You want me to start?
Yeah, you can start.
Alright, so the first point I came up with is how to know that your partner really loves you is that you hear your friends complain about their significant others, but you can't really relate. Is that true?
Yeah, cause you're in a healthy relationship, and things are going good, and you know that, and you're confident and bold that your partner loves you. So when your friend, on the other hand, is complaining about certain things, you can't relate because you're not in that situation.
No, exactly. That's why it came to my mind.
I mean, in
right?
terms of like petty shit, yeah.
That's why it came to my mind, right? You hear a lot of people, like, I don't know. There's a lot of relationships out there. People are together and they're not really that serious. That's why our topic is like how you know if they really love you or not. So like, with that being said, like me and Ashley, like we hear a lot of people like say they're in relationships, but like I don't know, they don't trust this. You know? Like it's just not as smooth as like ours is. It doesn't seem like that to us. You know what I mean? And
don't get us wrong, like we have our ups and downs and stuff, but that's not the point that we're trying to make. Like in petty stuff, okay, maybe you could relate to your friend when he's like,
yo dog, my girl just cheeses me, like sometimes she just nags at me.
Like in terms of that, you can relate, but in terms of like toxic things,
it's not like, oh, I want to break up with Ashley,
or I can't stand her.
I want her out. Like I'm not questioning my relationship. You know what I mean? Like minor stuff.
For my first point, I have here that he will bring up marriage. If a guy is really serious about you, yeah, it's in order. That is a very serious thing for me, because if a guy's really serious about me, when I mean serious, girls, I'm not talking about, no, I'm gonna wear a promise ring for the rest of our life, like together, that we're together after we got kids and all that, I'm gonna still be wearing a promise ring. No, when I talk about serious, I talk about settling down and getting married and investing and stuff like that. So if 5 months go by in the relationship and he's not talking about maybe intentions of marriage or, you know, anything along that sort of line, I don't think he's really serious about you. I know for some guys it might take them a couple years maybe, but for the most part a guy will know. How do you feel about that?
No, I agree. We both have the same values. We're both Christian, right? So like we date to marry, right? So like you said, I feel like most guys, I don't know, don't get me wrong, I feel like most guys, I can't speak for everybody, but let's just say for the guys that are into marriage, when they're with a girl, I feel like they're dating to marry. You know what I mean? I don't feel like, you know, I'm not gonna get into all that. Like I'm just gonna talk. We're talking about our values. We date to get married.
Yeah, we date to get married.
We date to get married, and like it's definitely something I knew I wanted to do. We obviously plan on getting married. It's definitely something I knew I wanted to do pretty early in our relationship. We've been together for about 1.5 years. I would say I knew this maybe about pretty early. Like I would say officially maybe about like 3 months in. Why we're not married yet, that's probably a whole nother video.
That's a whole nother video and a whole nother topic. Yeah. Because we're willing to be transparent with you guys. Let me just point that out. But just wait on it.
Just for time's sake, we'll drop in the next video. Yeah. But yeah, so
what's your next point, baby?
My next point is you gotta feel comfortable around her. So obviously you gotta feel comfortable around your partner. They gotta feel comfortable around you. So you gotta be able to like discuss issues with each other. You know what I mean? And when I say discuss, I mean like really deep things you wouldn't normally discuss. You know, it's your partner. Like you should be able to open up and feel comfortable about it, right?
And not be afraid.
Not discouraged, not intimidated. You know what I mean? Like because I don't know, you feel like they'll disagree. Because it's okay to disagree sometimes, but like relationships about reasoning. You gotta reason with the next person, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not always gonna have it your way, but you two as a couple, you know, in a relationship, you should be able to reason and come down to a solution that works for both of you guys. So you guys definitely gotta feel comfortable around each other enough to discuss anything and yeah, do anything.
Yeah, and everything. And you know, don't, like, sometimes, I'm not even gonna lie, there will be times, especially if you know your partner is completely against something and you want to talk about it. Like, I don't know what example I could use, but say for instance, like, I want to talk about, like, maybe go, like, traveling somewhere that I know that you've already expressed to me that you have no intentions of going there. No. In that case, yes, be ready to feel a little bit intimidated and be ready to get shut down. But at the same time, you shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't be like, oh, I don't want to go to him because I know he's gonna get mad and aggressive. Like, it shouldn't be like
you shouldn't
that.
be afraid to bring up any topic, right?
Any topic.
Because any issue will stay an issue if you don't bring up the issue, right? When you say issue, you gotta bring it to the surface. You gotta put it out there.
Yeah.
Even though you may butt heads on it at first, whatever, you gotta bring it out there and put it out there to get it solved, right?
So for my next point, he finds ways to express his love for you and to make you feel special. And I'm not talking about like special like how he be making every girl feel. I mean special in terms of like he shows you that like he's really serious about you and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And understands how you would like take it, like your side. Like he shouldn't always just look at it from his view, like, oh, I'm gonna do this because I like it. No, you have to do it because she, like, maybe you want to give her something, but you want to give it to her how she would like it, not how you would like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that jumps right into my third point. Like, my third point is she makes sacrifices for you and you do the same for her, right? So, sorry, what was your point?
Like, he finds ways to express his love for you and make you feel special.
Right? So, like, exactly, he finds ways to do that. So, how do you do that?
Like, little gestures.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices to do that. Maybe it's not really your cup of tea to do something, you know, but it won't kill you at the same time to do something, like to tell your girlfriend that you love her, tell your wife that you love her, or ask her how her day was, you know.
Or rub her feet or her back out of nowhere.
Yeah, you know what I mean? How you start your relationship is how you should continue. Obviously, you're gonna grow and progress, but don't forget the key to your foundation of your relationship,
like,
right?
What made you fall in love with that person?
Yeah, it's easy to forget because you get so comfortable around your partner. I mean, you guys go through so much ups and downs, like hard times, good times. So sometimes you're just kind of in a relaxed mode.
But the lovey-dovey stuff, they count. They do
I
count.
agree. It counts. But like I said, sometimes you just get in relaxed mode. So just try not to you know, just try to bring it back. You don't have to do it all the time, 24/7.
Spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, just try to remember what started off your relationship in the first place.
For my next point, it's important to him how his family accepts you and treats you, and yeah. So by this I mean, like, for Paul, I know it's really important for how like his family will interact with me as a whole. Like, not just simple, oh, hi. Like, he wants to see how they really, like, take me in and how they, like, you know.
That's a really key point for me as well, because Ashley is, like, my first official girlfriend, right? And she's, like, the first, like, obviously, there's been females who came around my family, like, come to my house and say hi to my parents, whatever. But Ashley's, like, the first person come to, like, you know, the Christmas events, the family vacation, like everything, right? And that's because she obviously passed the test, right? You know, family likes her, all this stuff, So like, and yeah, so she's comfortable around them, they're comfortable around her. You know, it's the worst thing when you get with somebody and then they have an issue with your family. It's not gonna go too smooth. Like, it's just more the fact that, like, you're in a relationship, obviously. Sometimes people butt heads. Just like every butt heads family, they butt heads too. So your spouse has to understand that. You got to work around that to keep the peace, right?
And also,
especially like, when you're a new person, new joiner to someone else's family.
And also, like, okay, I'm not saying this is the lady's fault. This is more of the guy's fault. If you notice that the guy doesn't really want to bring you around his family, or doesn't want you to get to know his family or like stuff like that, it's because he probably doesn't have intentions of keeping you around for a long time, which is why he doesn't want you.
Probably more likely,
because he's not just gonna bring anyone around his family.
I would say more likely. Sometimes I don't know. Every family is different. It could be like a really bad situation. I can't really think of an example, but I would say most likely if someone's hiding you, especially a male, like when he's hiding you from your like his mother and
his cousin, his crazy aunties, and you know what I'm saying. That
probably a reason for that.
Probably a reason for that.
Probably that because he doesn't really want to go that extra step, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of like when you introduce someone to your family. It's kind of like, okay, that's like a stepping stone towards you know, a deeper relationship. All right. So my next point. Okay, it's not the same, it's different. So I'm like, my next point is you obviously have to share the same values, right? Like I said before, me and Ashley are both obviously a Christian couple. That's how our relationship started, you know. Like we met on Instagram. You see my page, I post a lot of like
we didn't meet
Bible.
on Instagram, but yeah.
We began talking on Instagram. We didn't meet on Instagram, but our pages is what drew us more together because she would post a lot of Bible quotes, I would post a lot of Bible quotes. You know, we just began talking about our faith. You know what I mean? Because faith, come on, let's face it. Faith, values, that's a key foundation in a relationship. When you guys share the same values, the same faith, it just makes it that much easier. Because God is the foundation of our relationship, regardless of our flaws, this and that. God's always the foundation. We're always going to pray through our hard times, our good times, our wrongs, our struggles. We're always going to pray and put our trust in God. Not saying we're perfect, obviously not saying we're not. Like, you're always gonna have
ups and downs.
That's why we need God, right? But anyways, like, God as our foundation, it just helps us to even it's like the balance. That's the core. That's the balance to our relationship. Like, because
when he's
whether you're wrong or right,
this and I'm like this, then God comes between us, and
we don't disagree in faith. Like I said, we have the same values. So whether we're wrong or right, it's easier for us to like point that out because our faith is like, that's the standard. That's the rubric. You know what I mean? So like, faith is very important in a relationship. Morals and values. I feel like when two people have the same morals and values, it makes it that much easier in a relationship.
And I was gonna say, and how that connects to him, you knowing that he really loves you in terms of like having the same values, is when he he's trying to get you guys on one accord. Like, he wants you and him to be on one accord and to be one-minded.
Definitely, yeah. Like,
if he's not really like, don't really bring up certain topics in terms of like values and like stuff like that, then maybe he just doesn't care enough. So, you know, but like in terms of a long-term relationship and marriage, you need to be on one accord. You need to have one understanding. You need, like, you know what I'm saying? Because you need something in between you guys that's gonna bring you guys back together when you guys be like,
yeah, because like I said, that's our foundation, and like that's what we use to challenge each other to do better and to progress to do better. We use our faith to challenge each other. Okay, you need to tighten up in that area. You know what I mean? You need to tighten up in this area. You know what I mean? That's how you strive to perfection or your progression. That's how our progression works, at least, right?
Yeah.
Our foundation, our faith.
So my next point is that he genuinely cares about you.
That's your last point, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna expand on this. When I say he genuinely cares about you, I mean, like, I'm not talking about no petty stuff. I'm not talking about when you cry because he's not paying you attention. No. I'm talking about, like, if he doesn't notice that you didn't eat all day and you've been down and you just haven't been yourself, and he doesn't even care to turn his head and be like, are you okay? What's on your mind? Did you eat? Like, that says a lot, because that means he doesn't care and he's not attentive to you as a person. He's not, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not paying attention to you, really. Maybe he's focusing on other things, but it's not you. Because if you're around him all the time and you missed 3 meals and he ate all 3 meals and he didn't even ask you, are you okay? Why didn't you eat? Are you going to eat? Then
a real love is really basic, but not basic at the same time. Why I say that is because love is about basics, but at the same time,
stuff.
It's not 1, 2, 3 at the same time, right? So basics, I mean, saying it's about, like she said, have you ate food? Do you have a place to stay? Like, do you have clothes on your back? Are you okay? Sounds simple and basic, but obviously that's life, right? We need food to eat. We need we need clothes, we need transportation, we need to work, we need money, this and that, right? When you see a guy is really caring for those needs, or females caring for those needs, your basic needs of survival,
then that's a check
that's
mark.
a key point.
But even deeper than that, your feelings, your mental state, your emotional state, if he's not in tune to that, if he can't grasp when something is off or something is wrong,
also that too, yeah,
then something is not right. Like, he's obviously not that into you. Like, if I go 3 days straight, boo, and I'm not talking, I'm not smiling, and I'm down, I'm not being myself, and you don't take it in,
I wouldn't say that he doesn't really care about you. Sometimes you could not notice. I mean, but like,
I'm not talking, okay, but 3 days straight, I'm not talking about one day you're having a bad day and boo don't notice. Sometimes you don't notice. That's petty. That's whatever.
3 days straight, okay, but I wouldn't really put a time limit on, you know.
Okay,
maybe,
if I haven't been myself for a while. Yeah, if I haven't been myself
like I
for
said,
a while,
maybe you guys are going through a rough time. Maybe you haven't been yourself. Maybe he hasn't been himself as well.
Maybe
that's why, like I'm
situation.
saying, I'm just keeping it to the real hardcore basics. Like, don't get me wrong, you should always notice if your girl's mad or if your man's mad or stuff like that. Or
you should, yeah.
But that even leads to my last point.
Because they don't always want to be like, oh, I'm mad because of this.
Let me jump to my last point. My last point is that you reason with each other, right?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You reason with each other. But like I said, it's not always 1, 2, 3. Like, it's basics, but at the same time, it's not basic. Communication is key. That's a very, very
key. Yeah, you're right
key point. Most key points. So you can't just be like, oh, 3-day rule.
No, I'm not saying that.
No, but
it's
I'm just specifying that, because I'm not just gonna throw it out in the air like that and make people think that. Like, it's not just like that. Like, it's more to it. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not as basic as 1, 2, 3. You know, you gotta reason with each other. So let's just say the 3 days. Okay, you went 3 days.
Alright, let me put it this way.
I would try not to be mad about the 3 days and just be like, you know, maybe I'll open up if I was mad for 3 days and say, okay, something's wrong. Why haven't you asked me? Or whatever, you know what I mean? Just bring it up and discuss it and reason. Come to a solution.
Let me put it this way. If he notices when you're off or your mood's off or whatever the case is, that's a check mark. That's a good thing. If he even notices that little pimple under your nose, that's a good thing, because that means he's paying attention to you. Okay,
but like even more deeper than that, I think those are all great. I'm not trying to shove that under the bus, but like I said, for key points in a relationship, a real love, I would say he cares about your basic needs. He cares about a roof over your head. You know, are you making money at work? Are you eating food? You know what I mean? Saving? Don't get me wrong. Obviously, you're meant like. Come on, like why? I'm not trying to throw it on the bus, but at the same time, I'm not gonna compare a booger under your nose compared to if you ate today. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying I would say the key hardcore facts is like he cares about your basic needs. Don't get me wrong, we can't leave out the mental.
No, you can't, because then
side,
all that other stuff doesn't even matter.
And that also ties into your faith in this and that. You know, you're always challenging each other to grow in those areas. But yeah. So
you right. Yeah, you right. I right. We right. We get it. But yeah, guys, so that basically completes our little chat for today. How do you know he or she really loves you, cares about you, is serious about you?
It get tricky, like, right? We're young in the game too, but there's some key points that everybody kind of have to follow. Like I said, it's basic, but it's not basic, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, to conclude that, reason with your partner, communication is key, right? Because without communication, that's why I left it as my last point, it's not going nowhere. You gotta communicate, you gotta find the issue, and you gotta find a solution to that, right? Because problems in the air will just grow like a cancer, and then that's no good. Toxic. But yeah, guys, that's it for PNA Squad.
That's it, baby.
Right? We out.
We love you guys. Thank you for all the support. Make sure you stay ready for these little topics here and there, you know what I'm saying?
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos.
Yup. Hit the like. Actually, smash that like button right now.
Yeah, we kind of small right now, but let's try to get 20 likes on this video.
Yeah, let's, get us to 20 likes. Can you guys do that for us? Like, you guys be getting all these other people to like 10,000 likes, so why can't you help us out and get us to 20 likes? And leave a comment down below, and share this video with your mama, your granny, your auntie, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, your godson, your goddaughter. Anyways, guys, we out. I'm done now.
Alright, guys, love you.
Now, like my glasses. Peace.